live in HD. Balanced news and severe weather coverage. This is Fox 11 News. Good Day, Wisconsin.
And sure enough, there's fire truck after fire truck just coming down the road.
Just kind of speechless in a sense. Just crazy.
Witnesses say they're stunned after seeing smoke pouring out of Preble High School. We'll have the latest on this breaking news story in just a moment.
And people in the Green Bay area are being asked to cut down on their water usage over the weekend, but it's not because it's so dry. Find out why.
We begin with breaking news coverage from Green Bay. Preble High School has canceled all summer activities today, including football practice, because of a fire at the school. And Pauline Lee joins us live from the scene with the very latest. Good morning, Pauline.
Well, Rachel, I just talked to fire officials. They said they know there's extensive smoke damage throughout the building. The fire marshal should be here to start investigating. And in the meantime, school officials have been working just to try and figure out where to go from here. I'm joined with Director of Facilities, Mike Stengel. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Let's just talk about, you were here bright and early this morning. You saw the smoke. What was kind of going through your head?
Well, we didn't know what the cause of the fire was at that time or the extent. Since then, we've determined that fire was located in the gymnasium in a section of bleachers, and that the smoke has come out of the gym area and gone down some of the hallways, and we have some soot and smoke damage in our hallways. We haven't been able to get into the building yet to determine the extent of the smoke damage. But at this time, we have a couple of restoration contractors on site, and as soon as we can get into the building, we'll analyze the extent of the damage.
You had mentioned this morning you were notified of the fire because of an intrusion alarm. Tell me about that.
Right. At about 1:44 this morning, we had an intrusion alarm that went off. Our company that handles our intrusion alarms came out to investigate. At that time, they discovered the fire in the building. They notified the fire department and myself, and we were out here a few minutes later. At this time, we don't know what activated the intrusion alarm. There was extensive smoke in the area, so the smoke could have activated the intrusion alarm.
So that doesn't necessarily mean someone was in the building when they weren't supposed to be?
Right. We haven't determined that. We're reviewing cameras right now. We do have cameras located inside the gym and in corridors around the gym, and we're looking at that. Just some very preliminary ones. We have not seen anybody in the building.
We were talking earlier, Preble High School announced on its Facebook page all school activities today and summer classes have been canceled. How long will that be for?
Yeah, we're not sure yet. Until we can get in the building later this morning, as soon as the fire department clears the building, we'll get in there and then we'll determine the amount of damage and how extensive it is. And then we'll determine on, if we can use portions of the building and when we can begin cleaning.
School is about to start here in less than a month. How tough is that for you guys as faculty and staff?
Well, like I said, we already have restoration contractors on site, so we'll be bringing the manpower, and we'll have school open in September 2nd.
It's fortunate that you have two gyms. At least that might help a bit.
Yes, there is the original, what we call the old gym, the smaller gym, and there was no fire damage in that area. And then it's the large gym, and so we'll be, investigating the extent of damage and how long it'll take to repair that.
Now, am I right saying that you got a little bit of a sneak peek inside the larger gym? Some of the track has been melted because of the heat.
Right. There's a rubber track around the wood floor track, and in front of the bleachers where the fire was burning, that floor track has melted.
Can we expect some more information from the schools as far as summer classes and activities later on today then?
Yes, as we can determine the extent and when we can get our schedules readjusted, that information will come out.
All right, thank you so much, Mike. Stay tuned to Fox 11 Online for the latest information. We'll bring you what we can, when we can. For now, reporting live at Preble High School, Pauline Lee, Fox 11 News.
All right, Pauline, thanks for the update. 3 people are now facing charges in connection with 2 separate heroin deaths in Winnebago County. Adam Bishop of Neenah has been charged with reckless homicide in a 21-year-old woman's death last September. The other death involved a 35-year-old man in March. Amanda Hanstead and her husband Nicholas Hanstead of Kaukauna were also charged this week with reckless homicide in that case.
A weekend fundraiser for an Outagamie County church is coming under fire. St. Patrick's Church in Stevensville will hold its annual pig wrestling event this weekend. But some animal supporters have started a petition to cancel the event. They say the pigs are commonly abused during the wrestling. However, organizers say that's not true. They say no people or animals have ever been seriously injured during the event. The church has been holding this fundraiser for more than 40 years.
If you're heading out the door right now, here's a look at some of the other stories we're following. The Green Bay Water Utility is issuing an emergency water conservation notice. It'll take effect just after midnight for Green Bay, Ashwaubenon, Hobart, and the town of Scott. Crews will be trying to fix a water transmission line. Isel has been downgraded from a hurricane to a tropical storm. It's already knocked out power on parts of Hawaii's Big Island. And President Barack Obama has authorized U.S. airstrikes if militants advance on American troops in northern Iraq. The military is also dropping food and water supplies to thousands of religious minorities in Iraq that are surrounded by militants.
And what you got planned this weekend? Fishing, golfing, what do you got going on? We have a forecast for you. Doug Higgins is on the weather deck. Good morning, Doug.
Good morning, Pete. I'll tell you what, if you have outdoor activities planned, this is the weather for you. That is for sure. Quick look at the golf and fishing forecast. So we're going to start off with putting, because putting is always such a hard thing to do. So let's go to it and see how it all looks. Will we make it? Lining up the putt, giving a little light straw in the cup, very nicely done, very nicely done. Beautiful weather out there, mostly sunny skies as Pete was alluding to. If you're an early morning golfer, temperatures will start in the 50s and then really just rocket up from there easily to 80 degrees. Not much wind, so if you're going to be out on the bay, coming out of the northeast at about 5 miles an hour, picking up to 10 miles an hour out of the east during the afternoon. Pressure will be falling lightly during the afternoon as well.
Yeah, it's underway for another year in Appleton.
Yeah, the event actually kicked off yesterday, and one of the singers you'll see is Raquel Rodriguez of Los Angeles. She's performing tonight at Jimmy C's in Green Bay, actually. She also has 2 shows at the Mile of Music tomorrow and a 3rd performance at the festival on Sunday. And Emily Deem is with Raquel in the studio this morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Rachel and Pete. Hi, everybody. Raquel is right next to me, but the rest of the gang is here, too. Introduce everybody to your band, Raquel.
Awesome. That's Molly Miller on guitar, Corbin Jones on the bass, Andres Matson on keys, and Sam Bronner on drums.
Who was actually born in Green Bay, lived in Neenah for a little bit, right? Woo! That is awesome, especially to have him here. And you've been busy, so Los Angeles, you know, you're from. Why don't you give us a little background on your career, though?
Well, I'm a soul singer from Los Angeles, born and raised, and I've been there my whole life. We actually all met at school, USC. We were in the jazz program, so that's kind of how we all started playing together. And
We've been talking about how big of a weekend it is. We have Mile of Music, but we have Burgerfest in Seymour, along with the Hot Air Balloon Rally. I'm going to set the scene for you now here on the weather deck. We have Hamburger Charlie. We have Abby from Festival Foods. We have some hungry, hungry people here. Justin, right? Yep. And? Marissa, and some guy named Trevor who might just work at Fox 11, and Emily Deem. She is going to be the official judge for our hamburger eating contest that is coming up. Hamburger Charlie, this is John Stelz. Let me start with you. Seymour, home of the hamburger. How big of a deal is this Burgerfest?
It is a big deal in Seymour, and we're very proud of our tradition in Seymour, and really it's a Wisconsin thing. It's a first in Wisconsin. We have proof going back to 1885 that we are the official home of the hamburger, so come on out and join us this weekend.
We are all believers in that Seymour is the home of the hamburger. And how does Burgerfest celebrate that?
Burgerfest celebrates that each year by having the world's largest hamburger parade tomorrow morning at 11 o'clock, and then we have our festival on the festival grounds right downtown Seymour. We have our Burgerfest, and we have all sorts of things going on there, live music, food, and lots of burgers and refreshments. Don't
forget the ketchup slide.
The ketchup slide is very important. The burger eating contest, which is what we're going to see here in just a couple of minutes.
3, 2, 1, eat!
You want to keep your eyes on the sky Sunday night. Good Day Wisconsin weekend meteorologist Doug Higgins is here. to talk about the supermoon. Hi, Doug.
Hi, Pete. Yeah, the supermoon. This is getting a lot of activity on social networks, and I really, personally, not a huge fan of the name because it's really not going to be all that super, but it's nice to see. Can't disagree with that. Here's why. I don't think it's that super. This is the time the supermoon is when it's closest to Earth, or perigee. And instead of calling it perigee, they're calling it supermoon. So it sounds like a fantastic, amazing thing. The moon's going to be 8% bigger than an average full moon. Is that super to you? Well, Pete thinks it's super. Okay. Well, Pete, if you think it's super, that's okay. If you're wondering what the name for the farthest away it is, it should be the super mini moon. No, it's apogee. And in case you're wondering when this happens, this will occur Sunday. It's going to be in the afternoon hours. At 12:44, that's when the moon will be closest to Earth and 8% bigger. And in case you're wondering, it will be a full moon also, but just a little bit offset from that by 26 minutes later. Pete and Rachel?
Yeah, we've been hearing a lot about supermoon. I'm only kind of joshing there because I think it was 2011 we first heard the term supermoon again. Now we're hearing it. We had 3 this year. So,
well, which one is the superest?
Well, this is actually the superest of the supermoons this year.
Okay, good. There we go.
Musician.
Sunday. A beautiful weekend for Burgerfest in Seymour, and Hamburger Charlie is here to tell us all about it. Good morning.
Good morning.
Also known as John Stouts in your other life, but you're Hamburger Charlie for us today and for the big weekend in Seymour. Yep. And how did the hamburger get started?
The hamburger got started back in 1885 at the Outagamie County Fair, which is held in Seymour, Wisconsin, and still is held in Seymour, Wisconsin.
As it should be.
As it should be,
okay.
That's right. And Charlie Negreen, a young lad of 15 years old.
He was only 15 at the time.
He was only 15.
Okay.
And he would bring his carts to surrounding fairs and to public places to sell meatballs.
Meatballs.
Mm-hmm.
And I bet he had great meatballs.
He did have great meatballs, and people loved his meatballs.
But
at the fair, he realized that people weren't stopping to eat the meatballs.
Because you've got a fork or a bowl. And
exactly.
Okay.
And so the people wanted to continue to go see the agricultural exhibits and other things happening at the fair. So Charlie, being the entrepreneur that he was,
a thinker,
he decided to flatten his meatballs and make them into burgers, and that's what we're going to do today. So the first hamburger sandwich was made in 1885 in Seymour, Wisconsin, and yes, we have proof of letters and newspaper articles that date back that far. Nobody else does.
Yeah,
so,
nobody.
That's right.
So you take your meatball,
we flatten this out, and this is what Charlie did. He thought, you know what, this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
And we put a little, well, you know, I don't know if Charlie had a bag of salt, but we do. And
Ziplocs probably weren't around.
Ziplocs probably weren't around.
And
we'll put a little bit of this.
Pepper grinders.
Right. So now, here we go. And we'll put this on the grill.
Okay.
And that will be, that's a Charlie burger right there. And when we're all finished with that, when that cooks its way through.
It's finished. It looks like this. And why do you have onion on there?
Charlie added onions, put onions on top of his burger, and that was it.
And that was it?
Put it between 2
pieces of bread, not a bun at the time.
It was 2 pieces of bread, not a bun.
I'm going to enjoy this.
Forecast first on Good Day, Wisconsin. A beautiful day, beautiful weekend for whatever you have planned. And the temperature hovering 80 to 83 for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday with a lot of sunshine.
You know what would make this burger better?
What?
A pat of butter.
Yes,
just like Hamburger Charlie would have done, right?
Hamburger Charlie fried them in butter. Yes, he did.
Did Hamburger Charlie have a special call during the fair?
He did.
What was it?
Hamburger hot with an onion in the middle and a pickle on top.
Oh, you forgot the pickle!
makes your lips go flippity flop. Fried in butter, listen to it sputter. Come on over and try an order.
There you go, perfect.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know how we're going to top that.
Well,
wait, yes I do.
Mila Music and Raquel Rodriguez is here.
Yep, she's in the studio to play again for us. Check her out. Jimmy C's tonight in Green Bay, and then Mile of Music tomorrow in Appleton. Have a good day, Wisconsin.
See ya.